You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Then, of course, Donald Trump, as we talked about yesterday, announces he is taking this particular unproven drug. Here's the craziness of that video.
And a lot of good things have come out about the hydroxy. A lot of good things have come out. And you'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it. The frontline workers, many, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it.
Hydroxychloroquine?
I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine.
When?
Right now, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it. Because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories. And if it's not good, I'll tell you right, I'm not going to get hurt by it. It's been around for 40 years for malaria, for lupus, for other things. I take it. Frontline workers take it. A lot of doctors take it. A lot of doctors take it. I take it. Yeah, I hope to not be able to take it soon because, I hope they come up with some answer. But I think people should be allowed to. I think for whatever it's worth, I take it. I would have told you that 3-4 days ago, but we never had a chance because you never asked me the question.
Did the White House doctor recommend that you take that? Is that why you're taking it?
Yeah, White House doctor. I didn't recommend. No, I asked him, what do you think? He said, well, if you'd like it. I said, yeah, I'd like it. I'd like to take it. A lot of people are taking it. A lot of frontline workers are taking hydroxychloroquine. I don't take it because, hey, people said, oh, maybe he owns the company. No, I don't know the company. You know what? I want the people of this nation to feel good. I don't want them being sick. And there's a very good chance that this has an impact, especially early on. But you look at frontline workers, you look at doctors and nurses, a lot of them are taking it.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. All right. Joining me right now is Dr. Sidney Coupet, internal medicine physician and founder and CEO of the Coupet Quality Clinic in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Doc, I'm going to read this letter here. White House released this letter, memo for Kayleigh McEnany from Sean P. Conley, physician to the president, commander, U.S. Navy. As has been previously reported, 2 weeks ago, one of the president's support staff tested positive for COVID-19. The president is in very good health and has remained symptom-free. He receives regular COVID-19 testing, all negative to date. After numerous discussions he and I had regarding the evidence for and against the use of hydroxychloroquine, we concluded the potential benefit from treatment outweighed the relative risk. In consultation with our interagency partners and subject matter experts around the country, I continue to monitor the myriad studies investigating potential COVID-19 therapies, and I anticipate employing the same shared medical decision-making based on the evidence at hand in the future. Now, first of all, Doc, let's break it down. Nowhere in here does this doctor say he prescribed hydroxychloroquine. Nowhere in here. He dances around the subject by saying we concluded the potential benefit from treatment outweighed the relative risk. 2, nowhere are they saying, why would you take a drug if you don't have coronavirus? When the FDA has already issued a warning stating the only place people should be taking this drug are in hospitals. Are you buying this nonsense?
Roland, by the way, thank you again for having me. And it's always a pleasure to come in and communicate with your audience, yourself, and to provide some education. And, these are real issues, and that's impacting real people in our community. So let's get this cleared up. Number one, hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine is not indicated at this time for any treatment around coronavirus or COVID-19. That's the first thing that needs to be very clear. And I will repeat this. Hydroxychloroquine is not indicated to treat anything around the coronavirus or the COVID-19. Now, we do use hydroxychloroquine for many other diseases, like malaria prophylaxis, right, or to treat malaria, as you all know, very familiar. In addition, there's a lot of rheumatic type of diseases that we treat, we use hydroxychloroquine for. For instance, rheumatoid arthritis, we use it for lupus, conditions that might even involve the skin. So there's some rheumatic conditions that involve the skin where hydroxychloroquine is effective for. So those are the conditions. So as I was listening to the audio, it strikes me. I wonder, does Donald Trump have other conditions that he's taking the hydroxychloroquine for, right? Because, I can tell you now that there's not a physician that would recommend the use of hydroxychloroquine to treat COVID-19.
Especially if you don't have it. Like who takes a drug just for the hell of it?
Right. So I'll say this. So right now, because we have the pressure and the demand of this pandemic where people are dying, clearly, right? So we have a lot of people dying, and there's a race for us and an urgency for us to find treatment and also eventually a vaccination. And so you have that urgency. But also, us in the scientific community, we also know the importance of having evidence-based medicine and evidence-based practice. So, what we're experiencing here in our society is this concept of we are now in a race of getting the right treatment or identifying what works and avoiding to harm people, number one, and number two, to see what's effective. So when you think about drugs like hydroxychloroquine, we're using it in a hospital setting for experimental purposes to see if it's working. Now, all of the observational studies around hydroxychloroquine is not promising, Roland. So although in the beginning of this pandemic, we were using hydroxychloroquine, we were using azithromycin. In fact, I just came back from the hospital. I admitted a patient with, a virus, the COVID-19. And so we are treating it with all types of the experimental medications that were recommended. So hydroxychloroquine is not the only one. So there's azithromycin, and those who are even severely ill, where they are intubated, we try remdesivir, which is an antiviral medication for compassionate use. So I'm sharing all of this to say that, we're in the medical community. We don't have the answers. We're still studying it. And as you heard, about 5 days ago, FDA just approved the first clinical trial for hydroxychloroquine to see whether it has any benefit at all. So far, all of the observational studies have shown that there is no benefit. And we have to think about what are the benefits. So for instance, number one, we got to make sure, does it keep people from getting sick? There's no evidence that shows that. Number two, does it get people better when you use it? There's no evidence pointing to that. In fact, there's evidence showing otherwise.
So for the people out there, especially to our audience, do not listen to anything Trump has to say about this drug. Don't ask your doctor for it. Don't play games with this.
Yeah. And the other important thing is that when you think about conditions like lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, those conditions run rampant in our community. And I have to tell you, I have a lot of patients with those conditions that I use hydroxychloroquine for. And, and these folks are appropriately being treated with that. But this medication is not without its risk. Obviously, every medication has a side effect. Some minor ones that hydroxychloroquine can cause is probably stomach discomfort, nausea, but even vision loss it can cause. But the more severe ones is cardiac arrest. That means the medication interferes with the electrical activity of your heart and cause you to have a cardiac arrest, Roland. So you certainly don't want to take that medication without a prescription or being advised by a doctor. So that's something very important that we have to keep in mind.
All right, Dr. Sidney Coupet. We certainly appreciate it, sir. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Roland.
All right, go back to our panel here. Malik, do you actually believe Trump taking this drug? Really?
I don't know. People typically don't lie about drugs that they take.
Well,
so
actually, typically presidents don't lie, but this man lies a whole lot.
But that's neither here nor there.
No, actually, it's not neither here nor there. He lies a whole lot. He lies about lies.
Okay, and that's great, but I'm not going to question when someone says that they are taking a drug or they're not taking a drug. I'm not going to second guess whether or not they're taking the drug. He says that he's taking the drug, so if he's taking the drug, he's taking the drug. But the important thing about this, and I do agree that no one should listen to Donald Trump. No one should listen to me. No one should listen to you, nor Mustafa, nor the doctor that you had on. They should listen to their own doctor. When you're taking any medication, it doesn't matter what it is. Don't listen to what the people on television says. Talk to your doctor. Any decision that you make about your health should be in consultation with your doctor, not any of us. We can all have opinions on it, but at the end of the day, these are decisions that need to be made between you and your doctor. And if Donald Trump's doctor said that it makes sense for him to take hydroxychloroquine, then okay. But I mean, that's his decision.
I'll say this, Kelly. Listen to us before you listen to Donald Trump on anything, because this is a dude who lies about everything.
I mean, that's here and there, right? But this kind of hits home for me, specifically the hydroxychloroquine medicine, because I have, like the doctor said, I have a lot of family members who deal with the ailments that hydroxychloroquine treats. I have very close family members who have lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, skin conditions. It's not uncommon in the Black community for us to have these ailments, and for him to isolate this drug specifically to further the cause of, oh, this is a cure for COVID. I mean, the conspiracy theorist in me, that's very small, but still there, can't help but wonder if there's a reason for that. Because he could have chosen any drug. He could have chosen any drug to exploit. And it had to be the one that a lot of African Americans and people of color use for ailments that are common within our respective communities. He very well might actually take it for other purposes. It's not like there's a monolith on rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and the like. I'm just saying who it affects the most, and it doesn't happen to be rich white men. That's all I'm saying.
Mustafa, to hear Trump just throw this sort of nonsense out there, I mean, game recognized game. You want to switch the subject. 91,000 Americans have died from this whole deal, and no one with any common sense, no doctor's just going to give the president of the person who's occupying the White House, experimental drug just for the hell of it. Yeah, okay, sure, dude. So you're telling us you're taking this drug, but you won't release your taxes. All right, we got you.
Right. Especially this drug. We know that the president, he's reckless with the tongue. We can say it that way. He also, unfortunately, just creates these scenarios and these situations, as everybody else has been sharing, that is impactful to real people in their real lives. My sister has lupus. When people started rushing out and getting this drug, she had difficulty in actually being able to get it. So the president just needs to be more serious and more careful, changing the narrative. Everybody knows that he's played a huge role and has a lot of responsibility in the numbers of lives that are being lost. And we can unpack that. Anybody who ever wants to debate that fact, we can take it clear back to the beginning. So for him to continue down this road, if he really wanted to change the narrative, do some things that are actually promoting good. Work with the Republicans on the Senate side to make sure the stimulus bills actually have what's needed in there to actually give the states and local governments what they need to be able to properly fight the epidemic that we find ourselves in.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. This is the Ceek VR headset created by Mary Spiel, the sister. We had her on the show. Black woman. She actually is the inventor of this particular headset. And so what happens is you just simply place your phone right into here, and then of course close it up, and then go to their website and then their app, and you can actually experience the comedy showcase. And so they have these headsets, these VR headsets on their site, Ceek.com, for sale. Then also they have these 4D 360-degree headphones. First of all, I love the two stuff because they're in black and old gold, my frat colors. But these are awesome because for gamers, it comes with detachable headset, and again, folks, it gives you 360-degree sound. Amazing sound. If you want to buy these, you have a promo code you can use. This is just for our followers, and it is RMVIP2020. RMVIP2020. Put that promo code in if you want to buy the headphones, buy the VR headset. You get that discount to buy it. They're amazing. So Ceek.com, RMVIP2020. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.